Your reaction to the Hall of Fame vote?
Yeah, not surprising. I actually had written my story before the announcement was made, thinking it would be these three. Wagner got in a little higher than I thought, considering he was just five short last year. And the Ichiro thing, one person not voting for them, Dan, it's not a big deal for me. I'm like, put away the pitchforks and the torches. It has no equation to the worth of the player, right? Mariano Rivera is not the greatest player in baseball history. Someone, I would like to know the reason. Don't get me wrong. Someone must have a legitimate reason, I hope, for leaving him off the ballot. I'd like that person to explain himself, but I don't get upset about it. No, it's not like, oh, take away his voting privileges because he didn't vote the way he's quote unquote supposed to vote. I'm not buying that.
But should the ballot be made public?
Yeah, listen, we're in the business of journalism, business of transparency. When we get that ballot, we're able to check a box that says, would you like the BBWAA to make this ballot public after the announcement? And most of us always do, right? But it is a choice. It's not an obligation. I would have no problem with making it public. I actually, Dan, I would prefer that it all be public, but you cannot reveal your ballot until after the announcement is made. Can you imagine, like the Grammys coming up, the Academy Awards? There was a running tracker of who was leading. No, I don't want that. I just want to hear the announcement when it's made of who won and what the vote totals were. I don't want it to influence the election, and I want to hold off the surprise, frankly.
Well, that's what it is with the Heisman. They say, don't reveal your ballot. And I always wait until after, and then I say, this is who I voted for and why I voted for them. But I look, I'm proud to have that opportunity. So I don't want to hide from it. I would just be curious why this voter didn't vote for Ichiro. Like, what was it that bothered you? Or sometimes, as you know, voters will give a vote to somebody else so they can get a little bit of a boost because this other guy is already going to get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I've heard of that in the past. It's tough to think that's in play this time, Dan. This was not necessarily a really deep ballot where you're fighting to
Yeah.
keep guys on the 8, 9, 10 spots in the ballot. Now, listen, Ichiro, to me, is a no-brainer, right? 3,000 hits, 300 average, 500 stolen bases. One of only five guys to do that, a handful of guys. But, I mean, he does have the lowest adjusted OPS for any corner outfielder in the Hall of Fame. He was a singles hitter who didn't walk and didn't hit for extra bases. You want to hold that against him? I don't. Um, but like you, I would like to know what it was. It's interesting. He came up for the Japanese Baseball Hall of Fame ballot as well, and only pulled about 93% over there. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe bad that he left.
Yeah, there you go. He didn't last long enough over there. I think he had 1,000 hits over there. It wasn't good enough.